Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I am your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. And today I have with me, Y'all, I know I say I'm excited a lot, but I really mean it that I'm excited to have Rita Prenzler here today. Part of the reason I'm excited is because, number one, she's my friend. I've known her for a few years now, and she's also my own personal Zinzino consultant that I work with. So let me tell you a little bit about Rita. Rita is a former student athlete in cross-country skiing. And she moved from Latvia to the United States over 25 years ago, and now together with her husband has been raising 3 amazing kids who have also become competitively involved in sports, and one of whom is currently a student athlete as well. Health and nutrition has always been important to her as an athlete and a parent. However, in order to have a balanced diet, that can be sometimes challenging. So 4 years ago, she found Zinzino, and this meant that it has not only improved her health, but has also been a great business opportunity for her as well. So Rita, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jennie. Thank you.
I am so glad that you are here with us because, as I already mentioned, you are my own personal Zinzino rep, but I know that unless people have already listened to the episode with Petri, they may not have heard of Zinzino. So tell us, how did you find Zinzino and what is Zinzino?
I'd like to introduce the name Zinzino because sometimes it's like, what is it? Kind of like a sounding word. And it's actually in Italian that means small thing with great value. So you would think that I'm in diamond business, but health is wealth. And so we create wealth for people, right? So Zinzino is Scandinavian test-based nutrition company. And we're kind of like on a unique mission. No one needs introduction to something as omega-3, right? Mm-hmm. So when I introduce people I'm using or I have used, but we want people take guessing out and have actually scientifically backed information. Mm-hmm. So, and as Scandinavians, we're just minimalists in a way. We go for less is more and smaller thing with greater value.
Right. Absolutely. And so how did you find Zinzino? How did you come across this company, the product and the business opportunity?
It's almost kind of like eclipse. When it happens, it just perfect time in a perfect place. Well, it's kind of like a family story because my niece was exchange student here from Latvia. And here's this teenager comes and she has omega-3 in her suitcase. What teenager travels with supplements, right? But her idea is like, hey, I want to enjoy it to my fullest. And therefore, I'll bring something that will keep me healthy. So that caught my interest because this teenager was serious about it, right? So, but when I found out there's also test, not only caught my curiosity, but my husband who loves numbers. And next thing we know, we are not just, kind of curious, but we are all in. We are taking a test. We're finding our numbers. So.
Oh, that's amazing. And so now you've been with the company for 4 years. What has been your experience with Zinzino so far?
I'm by nature, I like to stick with things. I'm slow to make decision, but once I do it, I'm stickler.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't say it was just like stormy beginning and everything, but as everyone who gets super excited, yes, I probably got too excited the first couple months. But it was, I remember those first meetings with as a good memories.
Mm-hmm.
So, but honestly, it's been just better and better, and company is improving when it comes to how it's easier to do business. And it's just amazing that all I have to do is really network and make friends, right? And company does the rest. They're going to do the business. They're going to deliver. They're going to ship. And, they're going to work on improving products. All I have to do is have fun.
Oh, nice. I love that. And so you and I met networking. I'm sure my audience is totally shocked and surprised by this. And so I know one of the really innovative ways that you have been building your business for the last couple of years now has been through BNI. And how has that added to your business?
It's been wonderful. I can't say more. I can't. Yes, I loved aspect of someone introduced me. I never even knew about BNI. What is BNI, right? Like many of us. What is BNI? So, and of course, it's like you open the door and there's everyone just like you who are ready to network and make friends. So it's like, welcome to like-minded people. I like the concept. I like a giver's gain philosophy behind BNI. So since this is my second year with BNI, and and thanks to that, I met you, Jenny, and just kind of like, and I like to start locally before extend globally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to have one-to-one meeting in person and build friendships locally. So I would say BNI been really a highlight of my last year on building business in Zinzino.
Oh, that is awesome to hear. I mean, because I know that there are people when I run into them at other chapters where, because, we both live locally close to each other. There are people who say, oh yeah, I'm on Zinzino too. I'm, Rita's my girl too. So lots of people are experiencing this. So let's jump back to the test-based portion, because I know that there are not a lot of products on the market that have a testing option, right? And you guys do. You like have a test that you start with at the beginning, and then people can test again later after they've been on product for a while. What have you found? How do the customers react to the testing process and the results that they're getting?
That's definitely been interesting to work with people and encourage them to sometimes it's just like, I tell them, well, it's kind of like looking under the hood in the car, right? Do you need an oil change or not? I love to use metaphors. And, before we get to the concept that, yes, we need to take a test, they have no doubt that this is definitely head and shoulder above where they used to be. So it's kind of like, why be in the darkness if you can turn on the light on your nutritional profile? And so it's a story. Numbers develop the story of your health. And when I see the first tests, actually, I have to, because by the time it takes 2-3 weeks for tests to come back.
Yeah.
So by the time the tests come back, my friends, customers already been using for 2-3 weeks. So to give them better picture, I can always say, like, you already been using the test results products for 2-3 weeks. So they're much better by now. What you're looking at, it was like 2-3 weeks ago, because especially here in Midwest, we are omega-3 desert. We don't have omega-3s.
No. And
clearly it shows in a test. I'm cheering and encouraging meanwhile to improve those numbers because it's hard to develop the habit. The habit is a big word when I work with customers, because people forget. And, no one needs to be reminded about brushing teeth, right? But taking a supplement, yes. And so the first 120 days is so crucial for them to get results that are actually optimal. Yeah, so we have this kind of like discovery moment. We both are kind of, a lot of times are shocked, disappointed, but then we can celebrate. It's like, look at this, look what you did. Your test results are totally night and day. So, and also because the tests are been sent to independent lab, I don't have to apologize, right? It's independent lab who did the test.
Right.
We are the ones who just help you to go through the results, and how about we do something about it? By providing omega-3s.
And in the business aspect of your Zinzino business, so you've been working on improving your local presence. You already mentioned that. You are now moving into the world of moving from sales to wanting to now begin to grow a team. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. I feel like these 4 years have empowered me to coach others. And I've been in and through and out to learn about product, learn how some people respond, and not just based on how my family is feeling and responding. And so, yes, I feel empowered. I can train others and build the team. And frankly, it's kind of lonely to be by yourself, right?
Agreed.
I'm a social person, and I'm right now, that's my challenge for this year, to build a team. Correct.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So what's the plan that you have for moving forward with building a team?
Well, what's interesting is while I jumped in the water cold turkey, right? Decided to become a partner right when I saw that there's a test with omega-3. I don't want to just kind of like look somewhere out there far. I want to look at the customers I have.
Yeah.
Who already know the products and who already been on the product for over 2 years. Why should they keep this as a biggest secret, right? Maybe perhaps they want to share just like I do. And so just kind of within resources, within the work and relationship I already have established, that's my goal, is to now make a next step.
Oh, that is awesome. That's really good. So let's shift back to the health part. How are you utilizing the health side of the business to reach more customers?
Well, it's kind of like the more customers you have, I wouldn't say easiest to reach, the more you reach customers, right? And it's like with anything, the first step is the hardest. While it's always going to be challenging, because it's, every time you're, of course, stretching your comfort zone and approaching people and talking to people. But through this, I have learned even more to enjoy relationships, to enjoy networking, and enjoy listening.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest lessons I had, is to listen. I want to hear their stories. I want to hear their concerns. I want to ask how they're doing. And not even start with solution for everything, right? So that's what I continue to do, is just meeting people and hearing their stories, and perhaps there's something I can help them.
Oh, good. That's awesome. And so in 4 years of business, it hasn't been all rainbows and roses. What's the obstacle that you have overcome that you are really proud of with how you handled that challenge?
Well, it was interesting at first. I was always kind of like dreading to see the text message from one of my customers. What if they'll say, cancel my subscription? That was like my biggest fear. But now, and not always that was the case, right?
Right.
Sometimes people have questions, but that inner fear, what if I didn't explain enough? What if I was just not what right? Something that they're not happy with. I want people to be happy. That's kind of like, I know it's not chocolate, but actually, however, I would say this is the real treat. But yeah, I have overcome the obstacles of fear, of different kind of fear. There's a good and bad fear. I just recently learned, what my fear now is that I won't reach enough people, that I won't help at the right time to prevent preventable. So instead of fear that approaching and telling them that, there's something they can learn and prevent or improve and empower their health, I'm fearing that, what if I don't reach this person? And, of course, everyone can choose. That's the best part, is like you have always choices. But I want to make sure I can reach out to as many people as I can. And in a way, I see, like in the morning when you have a salt and pepper, I want to have a third item is omega-3 on the table, have a balance oil on the table. So it's like a daily thing.
Right.
So I have a lot of work to do. I need more help.
No, absolutely. And especially since I know, right now for your company, there's a huge underserved market here in the United States. I mean, they've been building and growing in Europe for quite some time now. And the Zinzino market is huge in Europe. And now it's just starting to grow and blossom in the United States. So there really is kind of this wonderful balance between the history of a company that's been around for a while because they've been building in Europe for a while, but a ground floor opportunity in the United States, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I noticed that people want that one-to-one approach. They want that education in addition to just here, take this, right?
Yeah.
They deserve to know why and what's behind this, and they deserve to have a test, right? There's a definitely great opportunity. They don't want something generic, just go and I guess it's gonna work, placebo effect kind of thing. And well, the saddest is when we take tests for those customers who've been using omega-3s for years, some of them, right? And when we take a test, they don't score as they should. So there's actually the statistic is like the worldwide 500 million people using some sort of omega-3 supplement. So now let's test it, right?
Right.
It's been a while since there hasn't been opportunity to test. So actually, a lot of time I compare to vitamin D testing.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people already like, oh yeah, I have tested vitamin D. Well, have you tested for omega-3? It's in the same platform, but it's even, I would argue it's even more important to know your omega-3.
Oh. Well, that's saying a lot, especially with me, because vitamin D to me is like, that is now for me a non-negotiable. Like
Right.
That's my history, but
Yeah.
that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. So now speaking of the balance test, you have this wonderful offer for my listeners of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. What is it that you are offering to the first 3 people who contact you?
Absolutely. I would love for your listeners to have opportunity to have tests and not just trying to maybe go to Oslo, maybe go there, right? But delivered to their address, free balance test. So they can learn their omega-3 levels. So first 3 people who will send me a text message will be the ones to receive the test. Correct.
Oh, that is so generous because
in addition, I would have Zoom meeting, free consultation, so they're not left on their own with a test wondering what to do.
Oh, that's even better. I love that. Well, thank you so much, because when you give the test, that's a financial investment for you to do that. So thank you. But then also the giving of your time and your expertise and knowledge, because time is something that people can never get back. So you're gifting your time to 3 of the listeners. So thank you. I appreciate that. So if you are listening right now and you want to take advantage of Rita's offer, please make sure you check the show notes for her number where you can text her. Now, Rita, is your phone number the same as your WhatsApp number? So
Correct.
that way, if someone connects with you globally,
Correct.
Okay, good. So we're going to put her number. So you can either text her if you're here in the United States, or her WhatsApp. If you are not in the United States, you can WhatsApp her. If you're one of the first 3 to mention, I heard you on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. Can I get my balance test for free? If you check in with her, she'll let you know if you're one of the first 3 and if you qualify to get that free consultation and the free balance test. So thank you, Rita, so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is awesome. So kind of you to offer that. And thank you for sharing your experience with your company here.
I'm so excited to be on your podcast, Jenny. You're incredible. You're reaching to such a eager to learn audience and eager to looking for opportunities audience. I really appreciate what you do.
Oh, thank you. Anytime somebody tells me that they listen to the show, I'm just floored and honored whenever that happens. So thank you. Thank you so much for being a listener and a friend and my own personal Zinzino consultant, helping me get healthier so I can be a better mom. I so appreciate you. Oh my gosh. And now, Badass Crew, you know how this goes. Make sure you check the show notes for Rita's number. If this is your first time ever listening, the way you get to the show notes is grab your phone, click on today's episode, scroll up just a little bit. You'll see where it says see more. Click on the see more. It'll show you all of the information, including her cell phone number and WhatsApp number where you can reach out to her. And stay tuned, because there is another badass episode on its way. Hey, Badass Crew. I'm jumping back in here because after I hit the stop button on this episode, Rita and I were chatting afterwards like we do. And she shared with me she actually just earned the trip to her company's incentive trip. So she's going to Cancun in spring of 2023. So I wanted to share with you so that you guys can celebrate with her. Please reach out to Rita and celebrate and send her a message congratulating her on earning the trip. I think that is so amazing because fewer than 10% of anybody in direct sales earns the incentive trip. So it's a big freaking deal when somebody earns a trip. So please celebrate with her. I think it's an awesome thing that just happened. So thank you so much, Badass Crew, for being such a supportive community. I love you guys. And I hope that you earn the trip, and reach out and tell me when you do, because I want to hear about it and I want to celebrate with you too. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.